Hey, what is going on? I am Jake. Welcome back to KALE Robot. This is, of course, where I cook vegetable-heavy and allergy-friendly food that tastes awesome and makes me feel good. As always, you can find a full list of the recipes down below in the description. Now, do you want to hear something kind of crazy? I haven't had a burrito in almost a decade. Yeah. Being celiac means not eating gluten, which means no burritos. And I miss those big little donkeys. Fortunately, I've got a recipe for the best gluten-free burrito you will ever eat. Now, cassava flour makes this tortilla that is soft and chewy, but pliable and strong, and really steps in admirably in place of a traditional flour tortilla. I'm going to show you how to make these pillowy wonders and how I then stuff it with epazote rice, charred nopales, fermented black beans, smoked eggs, and a generous few dashes of my favorite arbol hot sauce. First up, tortillas. Let's get into it. Now, epazote is a fascinating herb. It's also not super welcoming to the uninitiated. It literally comes out of the ground smelling like gasoline. It's a little intense. But epazote is widely used in Mexican cuisine, and it shares great affinities with both beans and eggs. Now, as for rice, any burrito needs rice in it. And I say that because rice first serves as an important structural component to sort of give it body, but it also is great at sort of sucking up any of those stray juices hanging around. So it made sense for me to tie together the epazote with the rice so it can kind of unify the whole thing by talking to the beans and the eggs in this burrito. So enough talk. This is how I make it. will be honest with you. It initially took me a little while to wrap my head around the idea of eating cactus. Nopales are traditionally made by boiling them in water, which is going to purge the sort of slimy compounds inside. This texture is kind of akin to okra, the other famous slime-rich vegetable. But once prepared, nopales, they're pretty incredible. They have this tender, meaty texture, and they're a little bit tart inside. Here, I first grill them over an open flame to add like an extra layer of flavor. Then I boil them in salt water to season them as they cook. So without further ado, this is how I prepare nopales. All right. If you have never fermented before, I completely understand that it sounds a little scary. You're actively encouraging bacteria to grow all over your food. That said, if you follow a few simple rules, follow your nose, you are going to literally open up an entire frontier of eating. Now, a quick side note. Fermenting black beans is going to take somewhere around 3 or 4 days. Granted, it's mostly passive time. You're not doing a whole lot, but I understand that not everybody's going to have that investment of time. In that case, by all means, use a can of black beans and you will be A-okay. It just might not be as special. So the simple rule for lactofermentation is to keep your food submerged in salt water. Good bacteria, in this case lactobacillus, tend to thrive in anaerobic environments. Anaerobic meaning environments free of free oxygen. Bad bacteria, on the other hand, tend to love environments that are oxygen rich. So this all means keep your ferments underwater and you're going to be fine. Now, once fermented, the beans will have a slightly sour flavor and have intensified in flavor. From there, you can eat the beans as is and have a probiotic meal. Alternatively, you can also cook the beans again and lose those probiotic benefits, but still retain most of the flavor you developed through fermentation. Both are delicious. I encourage you to try it either way. I think once you start fermenting, you will not stop. Again, you can find the full recipe and step-by-step process down below in the description. Now, last week, I may have made the fun but bold claim that the smoked avocado recipe I gave changed your life. Would you believe me if I said the exact same thing about smoked eggs? I swear to you, it is true. Now, I'm going to do a deeper dive on this recipe, this technique later on in the week, But for now, this is a quick rundown of how I smoke eggs. So first, I boil eggs until their yolks are a bit jammy, which is going to be roughly 8 minutes. Then I plunge them into an ice bath to cool them off. And once they've cooled, after about 5 minutes or so, I peel them and cut them in half. From there, I place them inside a cold smoking box and smoke them with mesquite wood chips. I dare you to try this recipe and tell me it is not the best preparation of eggs you've ever had in your life. I dare you. Tell me in the comments if you disagree or if you agree. I'd love to hear it. All right, let's try this burrito. This thing is delicious. Oh man. Oh my god. This is so good. All right, now the hatchet. Now that's the burrito that I've been missing. Even if you don't go all in on some of the components here, I do understand some can be a little bit lengthy. Having a big, pliable tortilla back in my life, it is like being reunited with a long-lost love. There's a million different burritos you can make, so I hope there is nothing now preventing you from making one of your own. If you try any of the components in this recipe, I would love to hear from you. Drop me a line in the comments and let's talk about it. If you want to see more videos like this, I make them every single week. Click the subscribe button down below and you will not miss any of them. Click like if you enjoyed the video at all. That's super helpful. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. I will talk to you next time. Bye now.